Yeah. So the turning point was there was a few. So there was a few incidents that occurred where I just was so baffled that I was being told this information. So one incident was I went to a very, very renowned hematologist here because they thought I had this rare blood disease. And so the tests all came back quote unquote normal, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he looked at me and he said, "Well, this is my suggestion to you. I'm going to give you chemotherapy. I'm going to kill your entire immune system and hope that it grows back."
Oh my word. You gotta be kidding me.
No, thank you. I don't have cancer. We don't know what I'm dealing with. He's like, "It's all autoimmune in nature." I'm like, "That is not a solution to me. I'm not going to do that."
Oh,
And I looked at my mother and I said, "I'm not doing that." And then the straw that broke the camel's back was we were accepted into Johns Hopkins, which you have to be basically dying for them to
yeah.
take you, right? So again, you go with your briefcase of lab work and you hope that someone can fix you and that someone has the correct diagnoses and what they prescribe is going to work. And I was kind of at that point where I was done, but I was doing it for my family because they were so invested in me getting better. And I knew that this paradigm was not working, but I didn't yet know what I was going to do because I was still so shut down from my intuition and that inner wisdom that I had been taught from a child not to listen to it because I got in trouble when I did, right? Like I saw things that weren't there. I felt things that other people couldn't see. I was so sensitive to the energy that as a child, the message was, "There's something wrong with you. Stop paying attention to that. That's not real." So even when my body was so bad, it was like, "Oh, this is not real." But a part of me was like, "This is very real and you are dying unless you do something different."
Yeah.
And so we were down there. It was right after Christmas into New Year's. And I remember just being completely just going through the process. I had no hope whatsoever. And that was the first time that my husband had really gone to any of the appointments. And he was disgusted by the whole experience. And he was like, "How are you not angry?" I'm so far beyond angry. I'm in despair and I've just given up. I literally have nothing left in me to do this anymore. So I'm just done with all the doctors. If I'm going to die, I'm going to die. I've made my peace with that. And so obviously he did not like to hear that.
Of
My
course
family did
not.
not want to hear that, but I had made my peace that this was it. I was done. And that's when I began to quiet everything out. And that was when I was able to listen to my intuition. That little voice that had been whispering for so long was like, "There's another way." And I was like, "What is that way?" And then I say this, the universe will give you breadcrumbs. I got an email about this herbalism summit. And then there was this herbalism book that had come out and I got an email about it. And it was all this stuff and it was leading me towards plant medicine. And my gram had recently passed and she had some books about plant medicine. And my parents were like, "Hey, do you want these books?" And I think I want the books. And so that's what led me on this plant medicine journey over a decade later that I'm still on. I still have this reverence for the plants and Mother Earth, and it grows deeper the longer I do it.
I wanna talk about that in a minute, but one thing that just popped in, did your grandmother talk to you about herbs at any point before she passed?
No, I had grown up with a garden. We were big gardeners, but I did not understand at that point that every plant that grew had medicinal purpose. Again, that was not something that was taught to us, right?
Right.
I don't think she really had an understanding of it. She was doing some research about it because this was the time when they were doing HRT and it was coming out that it was causing cancer.
Oh,
So
yeah,
she
yeah.
was looking into other things. And so she had some of these herb books and she had written in them, she had highlighted some things. And so it was just great to have that memorialized after she had passed, but I felt it was her letting me know this is the direction to go. Follow this
That's
path. I started it, pick up the lead from here. This is where you go. I just got the chills because it really felt divinely orchestrated.